Hey guys, just before we get into this, hey guys, hey guys, what's up guys? What's up guys? Just before we get into this quick little Q&A video today, I'd just like to thank all of you for subscribing to my channel, watching all the videos, liking, commenting, all the good stuff. We've made it to 10k and there's no plan on slowing down. Yeah, it's just been a wild ride, just having heaps of fun, so more videos to come. So I thought a good way to celebrate reaching 10k subscribers was to just do a quick little Q&A video and get you guys to ask some questions, and I'll just give an honest answer, try and answer it as best as I can. How long have you been producing? I've been producing for about coming up 3 years now. I started producing when I got to university. I had a lot of spare time on my hands that I was not using to study, so I just got into music production and the rest is history. What was the reason you started making music in the first place? So I started making music honestly back when I was about 7 or 8. I started playing the guitar, and that's really where I started to sort of get into music. I played the guitar all through primary school and was low-key a shredder. I played guitar since I was a kid, and that sort of trickled down into music production, and I just sort of fell into music production and sort of fell into listening to EDM and all that sort of stuff. How did you get into music production? I got into music production through, it was sort of an odd sort of journey into music production itself. I got a new laptop and I found this app on the laptop called Windows Music Maker or something. It sort of allowed you to drag and drop loops and sort of samples and stuff. And then someone told me about FL Studio, so I downloaded it, installed the trial, and sort of just started playing around with it and was just making random beats. I'll have to dig them up and show them to you guys sometime. Yeah, that's sort of how I just got into it. It was a real weird way of getting into it, but here we are. Do you have anything music related going on outside of YouTube? So currently YouTube is my main source of music. I mean, I have my SoundCloud, but I haven't really posted on there in a while. SoundCloud started off as my place to put music. I really sort of got into YouTube to boost the amount of times my things would get clicked on, I guess. But I definitely plan on, in the future, once I sort of find my own original sounds, start making original music. I want to put stuff out on Spotify and Apple and all that sort of good stuff. How do you go about mixing? So mixing is a thing that people always ask. Honestly, I don't have anything new or original to say about mixing. I was in the same boat when I sort of started making music. I was like, how do these guys sound so clean and so snappy and so good? And honestly, it's just practice, practice, practice. You gotta train your ears, you gotta train yourself basically to be able to mix everything in, learn new techniques, just YouTube the crap out of anything you want to know. If there's anything you don't know, search it. YouTube will have a video out there. Where do you get all the right preset samples from? So samples and presets are sort of something you collect over time. Like, I have a pretty decent sample library now. That has honestly just been a collection of 3 years. Like, ever since I started, I was just collecting samples and collecting presets. Now, a lot of you will know that I use a lot of stock presets on Serum and stuff. That's because I like to use the stock presets as a sort of base for my sounds, and then I use those presets and I sort of change them in the way that I want to use them, and that comes down to sort of learning sound design and learning what sort of things do what to a sound. Then you can just take a simple little pluck or a bass preset or any sort of preset, and you can change it into amazing sounds that make your music sound really, really good. What's your favorite plugin? My favorite plugin, I'd have to go with Serum, because I mean, what can't you do with Serum? You can do anything from dubstep to like lo-fi. It's honestly so versatile. I like to use Silent for things like chord stacks. You can load them up and it doesn't really kill your CPU as much as Serum does. And then anything granular. I like Quanta. Fruity Granulizer is actually pretty good now, and obviously the Ableton one, if you have Ableton, is really effective. Granular is just, any granular plugin is just a good time. Who is your favorite producer? My favorite producer is a tough one because, damn, it really just depends on the month or the day, just depending on who I'm really feeling. But if I would have to go favorite, I would have to probably say Porter Robinson, because I just find myself going back to his music and it's just never gets old, and if it comes on through a shuffle, I'm always listening to it. I'd also have to say that my other favorite producers are definitely Flume and San Holo. They're also very original in their own ways, but I'll put Porter Robinson for my top. Who are your favorite small producers? I'd have to go with sort of guys like Jaren. I know he's sort of blown up in the producer world, but his sound is just, it's just sick. Another small producer that I really like at the moment is Skybreak. He's a young dude in the melodic rhythm scene, and he just makes insane tracks. Like, I get so jealous of his production. He does videos on Disciples, so definitely go look him up. Man, his production skill is just insane. Who is your dream collab? My dream collaboration, I'd have to go with Flume, just because he's just so insane. Every time he makes a song, it's just so different to the last thing. I find myself listening to his songs and I just have no idea how he does what he does. Honestly, I just want to collaborate with him just so I can sit behind him and just watch what he does. I just have no idea how he comes up with some of the stuff he does. What is your favorite movie soundtrack and favorite album? I have a few favorite movie soundtracks. Some of you might have seen my Tenet video and my cinematic music video, so I have quite a big interest in film scoring. My favorite film scores of all time, I'd have to go Schindler's List, John Williams. It's a tough movie to watch, but the music is great. It's depressing, it's gonna make you cry, but it's undeniably great and a classic and one of the best film scores of all time. I also love the Interstellar soundtrack by Hans Zimmer. That one is just insane. Sort of more inspiring soundtrack. My favorite album, I'd have to go Worlds, putting Porter Robinson back in there again, but Worlds is just a flawless album in my opinion. It's got so many songs on it that are just classics now to me. They're just, honestly, I can just put any song on from the album Worlds. It's just great. How do you learn new skills? I learn new skills watching YouTube videos. That's where a lot of my skills have actually come from. Just watching other guys produce and searching up things that I don't know and sort of trying them out for myself. And then a lot of the time I'm also just trial and error, just trying new things. Like, you might think of something, if it doesn't work then who cares? And if it does work then you've just learned something new. Where do you get inspiration from? I have no idea. Inspiration can come from absolutely anywhere. You might be just taking a walk, taking a shower, laying in bed, and you might just come up with an idea. There's been so many times where I'm in the shower and I'll just come up with some melody. Get straight out of the shower, get onto my laptop and just write it out. But you can find inspiration from a lot of things. Maybe it's other music. Pluck inspiration from anything and just put it into your music. How do you feel about the level you've reached? Honestly, I am stoked at the level I've reached now. I mean, I'm at 10,000 YouTube subscribers. I literally started this channel in November last year. I just uploaded my Tasker Black tutorial and I was like, see what happens, you know? Now, just over a year later, 10,000 of you have chosen to subscribe. So obviously I'm stoked with that. Just really motivates me to keep moving forward and keep making music. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? 10 years is a long time to think about. I kind of like to take my life day by day. If I were to say where I'd like to be in 10 years, it would definitely be still making music, as long as that is still something that is making me happy and still being a rewarding experience. Obviously, I don't want to be doing something if it's not making me happy, but for the moment, music is making me really happy and it's something that I'm really passionate about and something that I really enjoy putting my time into. So if that were to continue for a decade, then sure, I'd still be making music, potentially still be making YouTube videos. If you could broadcast one message to the entire world, what would it be? If I were to broadcast one message to the entire world, I think I'd just keep it sort of more individualistic. Just do stuff that makes you happy. Like, there's no point doing stuff to please others if it's not gonna make you happy. Work on your hobbies, work on your goals, chase your dreams, that sort of thing. It seems cliche, but at the end of the day, like, who wants to be wasting their life doing stuff that they don't really like to do? What's your favorite ice cream flavor? So I've saved the best for last. My favorite ice cream flavor, it's gotta be Jelly Tip. Now, I don't know if this is just a sort of New Zealand thing or if it's worldwide, but Jelly Tip is the best flavor. I mean, how can you get better than raspberry jelly rippled through vanilla ice cream with chocolate flakes? You just don't get much better than that.